Live. Coming to you live, Sager. It's around 4:30 Sunday, January 5th. Me and Sage, this is our first time doing this. We're going to react live to the last 4 minutes of the Niner game. They're down 40-24, but Sage, we got Josh Dobbs on our side. We're going to see if he can lead a comeback of all comebacks and get the 49ers their 7th win of the year to close it out.
Yeah, I know what we're hoping.
As I say that, it's 4th and 4, and it just had a very bad pass.
Okay, so you're ahead of me here. I'm looking at it 3rd and 4. I mean, it's bleak. We didn't want to win this game. We did exactly what we needed to do. It's just it's a little weird, the guys you did decide to play versus you didn't. I mean, there's not really much to take away from this game. I think you got exactly what you needed to get, despite the defense kind of fucking off when you don't rest any starters. I mean, you could point to this game and be like, it didn't matter, whatever you want to say. So-and-so didn't play. They threw out basically a full defense, and they're about to get 40 bombed by the Cardinals on the road. So that's embarrassing. Good way to close the book. Special teams, and the offense looked decent with Josh Dobbs out there. So interesting way to close out the season of hell, right?
I think that was the only kind of takeaway that I really had was that. Do you hear that, Sager?
No.
Whatever you were doing was messing up the mic. I'm telling you, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's just. I think we're good moving forward, but just don't do that shit again.
Okay.
But yeah, the special teams. I mean, what's that? We're good. We're good, baby. We're good. Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
All right,
but Jake Moody missed a field goal. Sage, when that fake punt happened, I would just laugh my ass off. I'm like, of course. Like, how else are we gonna cap off this Niner season without like just a complete mental blunder by the special teams unit? Is Brian Schneider done right after the clock hits 0? Do we give him till Monday? Do we let him have a vacation on the Niners dime and then he gets fired? Because this guy's gone. He has to be gone immediately.
He's getting the Gerard Mayo treatment. Like 20 minutes after this game ends, you're getting the Schefter update, Rappaport update. The 49ers have parted ways with special teams coach Brian Schneider. Here's the thing, though, is like it just happens at the worst time. They had some momentum. How do you not expect a fake punt? Like both times a team went for a fake punt against the Niners. The Rams did it. The fucking Cardinals do it. They're in dire situations or they have nothing to lose, and you just don't expect it. It's pathetic. It's sad. I just don't understand it. So this team's unprepared. The team is clearly just unprepared. The special teams is clearly unprepared. Do you know what it's like, Chase? It's like they only can shoot the Niners in the dick. Like they shoot them right between the balls every time. It's like that episode of South Park where Butters just keeps shooting the guys in the dick, right?
Come on, dude, not in the dick. Yeah, I remember that.
That's what the 49ers special teams is like. It's like every big opportunity that they have, it's just boom, right in the ball. So I can't imagine this guy's back. I can't imagine that there's not a complete reconstruction from top to bottom when it comes to the special teams. Moody's got to be gone. You get Wisnowski back, new regime at the top coaching it. So that's the first thing. Leave the entire special teams just in Arizona because they haven't helped you once this season.
Don't you kind of agree with Kyle Shanahan where I get why a lot of people shit on Kyle Shanahan because it seems like he clearly doesn't really give that much of a shit about the special teams, right? He kind of brings it up, but he's kind of right. Like the special teams, all you really need to do, hit your kicks, punt the ball, return it, I don't know, for 5 to 10 yards every time. And make sure that you stop the other team returning it. It just seems like special teams is a simple game, and the Niners, I think they were the worst special teams unit in the league, right? Maybe 31st.
For my money's worth, they were the worst.
But I think like stats-wise, like they were legit the worst special teams unit in the league by a wide margin. So,
but Brian it's weird because they've never been good.
What?
They've never been good at special teams. They've always been awful.
When was the last badass punt returner that the 49ers had? Have we ever had one? I legit don't think we've ever had one.
Ted Ginn Jr. was that it? I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anyone else who was like a badass. I liked Ray. I thought he was decent for what he was. I mean, what did he get 2-3 years and he was fine. He didn't really have many blunders. He was okay. I like Debo as a kick returner, but I mean, you're paying the guy too much to just be a kick returner.
Who was our punt returner in the 2019 year?
Our punt returner in the 2019 year.
I don't know why I'm blanking on that name.
Was it Fred Taylor?
Or is that Richie James?
Oh, Richie James. Yeah. What if Fred Taylor was before? Yeah, it was Richie James Jr. The guy who did the back.
Yeah, he wasn't that good.
They've never had a good one.
All right, so we're at commercial right now. Still 40-24.
Yeah, Cardinals
Cardinals.
running back just did a Marshawn Lynch, just ran through the entire fucking
The
secondary.
comeback
What's
is not
left.
looking good for everybody who bet Niners money line. You're an idiot, first off. But you lost your bet, man. It doesn't seem like Josh Dobbs is going to be able to lead you back. Sage, what do you think of Josh Dobbs? I know that. Let's be honest, Sage. I'm not trying to come at you here. You are a little bit critical of Brock Purdy. You were critical of Kyle Shanahan when he put Brandon Allen in over Josh Dobbs in that one game in Green Bay. What were your thoughts on your boy Josh Dobbs? You've been calling for him all year.
I've been calling for him all year.
Not all year, but you've been pretty pro Josh
Chase,
Dobbs. You've been saying Josh Dobbs should be in there. You've been saying that. Be real. You said that once or twice.
No, I didn't say that. I said Josh Dobbs should have played the game Brandon Allen played. That was all I said. You brought him in to be a backup. The guy's proven it in the past, last year with the Vikings, before with the Cardinals. He had that one game with the Steelers. I just said, like, you got to win a game in those snowy conditions. Just give me Josh Dobbs, a guy who could do it with his legs. I'll say this. That first drive by Josh Dobbs was awful. I mean, he overthrows a few balls, underthrows Ricky Pearsall when you had him wide open.
It was bad. It looked like it was going to be real fucking bad today.
The second drive to the end of the half was decent. And then he just went back to being a full pumpkin, just missing throws, overthrowing guys, throwing it out of bounds. He got into a little bit of a rhythm there with Juwan Jennings before he got ejected. 25 yards short of his 1,000-yard marker. You know, his agent's probably punching the fucking walls out of his hotel right now. But I mean, for a backup, he's fine. He didn't lose us this game. I think the defense lost us this game, and him not having any good personnel out there lost us this game. Conley looked good. I mean, Jacob Cowing looked decent, and Ricky Pearsall looked good. So those were the bright spots for me today. And I mean, he did it behind like what was left of the 49ers offensive line. We saw Colt McKivitz 5 minutes ago get carted off the field. You don't have Deebo Samuel. Correndo gets hurt on his second touch of the game. You're dealing with Patrick Taylor Jr. So he was fine. I mean, that Arizona defense is ass, but 24 points. You could win with that.
So, Sage, your boy Grant Cohn, I saw him tweet this a couple minutes ago. Before Josh Dobbs had an interception and a game-sealing fumble, said that Josh Dobbs with the backups looks better than Brock Purdy did with the starters against the Cardinals earlier in the year. Thoughts on that?
I'll say this. That Cardinals game, that was the Heat game, right? Where Brock had the ball slip out.
That was the Heat game. That was the sweaty palms game for Brock.
Brock looked bad that game. Like straight up, he looked bad that game. I don't know how much you might have to score on you. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but the offense looked better that game. I mean, could you deny that? So, I mean, I guess, but if you can't just go apples, like it's not apples to oranges. You can't just take one game to one game. Like we could say that Jimmy G today against the Seahawks looked better than Brock did his second time against the Seahawks. Doesn't mean Jimmy G is better than Brock. So when you want to do a 1-for-1 comparison like that, sure. But it doesn't mean Josh Dobbs is better than Brock Purdy. No, it's just a way to kind of rile people up and say like, oh, look at this. When in reality, the Cardinals weren't trying to win this game. The Cardinals defense is terrible and it's more injured than it ever was. And they're resting guys too on defense like we were as well. So it doesn't really mean much to me. They weren't game planning for Josh Dobbs like they were for Brock Purdy when the season actually mattered.
And Sager, the Cardinals just scored a touchdown. Sorry, I was looking at our screen, but who scored that? Was that our boy DJ Dallas?
No, that was who is this? This is Tony Jones. Tony Jones.
Motherfucker's coming off the street scoring against the 49ers right now.
Chase, the last time he played in a game was their preseason game against the Denver Broncos. He's been a healthy scratch this entire season until today. 55 yards and a touchdown versus the 49ers, who are playing their guys. I mean, Fred Warner's gone now. Fred Warner's not in there anymore. Neither is Bosa, but the 49ers try to play defense today. They just couldn't do it.
So going back a little bit to that Brock Purdy conversation, though, if you were a 49ers fan who's been a Brock Purdy denier, this is a big day for you. You had Jimmy G going. You had Josh Dobbs going. Sam Darnold's playing Sunday Night Football in probably the biggest game of the year. And Trey Lance playing for the Cowboys. Sage.
He looked decent.
Come on, Trey looked awful. Did you see that one play where he got out of pressure?
One play.
It's an important play, bro. Like, he got out of pressure, got set up, wide open, dude. Wide open. Maybe the worst throw I've ever seen in my life. The worst throw
you've ever seen in your life?
It was disgusting. It was disgusting, the throw from Trey Lance on that play. Especially after how nice the move was. Like, I'll give him that the move was nice, but then to end it with that throw was just a joke. I thought he didn't look good. What do you see from Jimmy? I wasn't watching a lot of that Rams-Seahawks game.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I was watching that game. I had a Geno Smith over throwing yards prop. They were fine. They look good for not having Puka, not having Cooper Kupp out there. He looked fine. He threw a pick. What do you go? 334 yards. Here, I have it here.
Did he have 330? Yeah, he had 334. Holy shit.
334 yards, 27 for 41. I mean, McVay's McVay. He's going to scheme guys open. He's going to get a pass game going no matter what. The run game really wasn't there. I mean, they had Ronnie Rivers and Blake
McVay's McVay. Come on, bro.
Stop. You come on. Give him his.
Don't act like he's Jordan. He's going to get 30 points no matter what. That's not
okay. I'm not.
Sean McVay doesn't deserve that level of love. Come on.
He's not okay. He's not Michael Jordan.
I've seen a lot of Sean McVay. Like Sean McVay literally put up 10 points last week against the Cardinals.
They do what they got to do.
Fucking lost.
They do what they got to do.
McVay's gonna McVay. Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying, bro. Like when you count, they won their division? Did anyone expect the Rams to win their division this year? You got to give the guy respect. Like he could put together an offense when he needs to. I mean, the Seahawks defense is terrible, but Seahawks weren't playing for much. Rams basically punted the game.
Also, yes, they lost this game. Just be fair. They lost this game.
They didn't want to win. If they wanted to win, they'd play their starters. They'd play some of their starters.
But Sage, they're so dumb for like not putting in Stafford because they fucked themselves. They're not the 3 seed anymore. They're the 4 seed. They're gonna play the loser of this Lions-Vikings game that's coming on at 5:15. When they could have just been set up to play the fucking Commanders, which would have been the best draw you could have ever asked for. He sits Stafford, sits Puka, sits Cooper Kupp. They lose to the Seahawks. Now, I think they get cleaned. I think they just get cleaned down round 1.
To be honest with you though, I'm not going to predict it now, right? They play Detroit tough. Even when Detroit's healthy, they've played them tough twice. They played them tough last year in the playoffs. They played them tough week 1. Last year, they lost by 3. This year, it went into overtime at Detroit. Detroit fully healthy. So I think they have just like a mental factor over Detroit where it's just
they lost twice. What mental factor? To keep it close?
But they've gone into both times both times they went in on the road, and it was a much better Detroit team. And Detroit had the deck stacked, and they play them tough. Like they hold that offense, no matter what you want to say. In that playoff game, they held them to 26. Or in that regular season game, week 1, they held them to 26 and needed overtime.
This is giving me Max Kellerman like they lost to him in 6 games. Like giving the Cleveland Cavaliers credit for 6 games. They held them to 26.
I mean, for what they're averaging,
that's not like 85 Bears kind of level performance, dude. I mean,
it's like, I know. It's like holding the KD Warriors to like 110. Like, does 110 sound good? No, right? It's like 110 doesn't sound good when you fucking say it, but the Lions are stacked up the ass. So it's like if you hold them to 26, you know what? That's a win. If the Vikings win in right now and they said, we guarantee you could hold the Lions to 26 points, they fucking take it. They would take it. I promise you.
All right. So, Sager, as we kind of wrap that conversation up, I like your points. That is a good point. But it just hit zeros. The season from hell is officially over. The Wicked Witch is dead. So the 49ers 2024 season ends
on a nail.
In beautiful, sunny Glendale, Arizona. The Niners lose 4. What's that?
Shout out Arizona. Shout out Pesto.
Shout out Arizona. They lose to the Cardinals, Sage 47-24, and what seemed like a close game, I believe, is a 20-17 at halftime. Josh Dobbs is keeping the 49ers in the game, but a couple of second half turnovers. Kyler Murray, perfect Kyler Murray game, Sage. I mean, when nothing is expected of him, everybody's like, "Fuck Kyler Murray." Didn't make it happen when they needed to. Season collapsed. Comes out, Sage 25-35, 242, 4 touchdowns.
That doesn't infuriate you.
22 rushing yards. Yeah, if you're a Cardinals fan, you're just like, God, you can't quit the guy. It's almost like Al Pacino in Godfather 3. Like right when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
It's Silvio doing Al Pacino with Kyler Murray. It's not quite Al Pacino.
What?
It's Silvio from Sopranos doing Al Pacino. It's not quite Al Pacino, but it's like an impersonation of it.
Oh man, but Sage, this was a game that we came in. We knew it didn't matter.
While we're on that, isn't that how you kind of felt like watching those first 2 drives on offense, right? You see Jake Moody hit a 51-yard field goal. You see Sorensen sending like linebacker blitzes, getting to the quarterback. You're just like, where has this been? Like, of course, like week 18, we want you to lose. Like you're hitting 51-yard field goals. You're sending like exotic blitzes. You're actually getting pressure on the quarterback. But then in the fourth quarter, you fuck off, get outscored by 21. Yeah, that's how you got to feel. Sorry, get back to your point though.
No, I mean, that's basically it, Sage. They lost. The season's over. The Niners finish off at 6-11. I think they're locked into the 11th pick right now. But, Sage, I mean, just a couple notes that I had from the game. Juwan Jennings is a fucking psychopath.
I love it.
Literally trying to fight anybody who's close to him. Like, he's just taking on any cornerback who's getting in front of him. I love Juwan, but dude, this guy's a fucking psycho.
In a bad way, though? Like, I feel like you
No,
gotta
in a
have
good
that.
way, but like genuinely, like if I was like family of a cornerback who was playing Juwan Jennings, I would be scared for his life. I'd be like, this guy's gonna try to fucking take your head off, like in a meaningless game on like a 3rd and 5 rush. Like he's gonna try to push you back 25 yards into the ground and spike you.
I think without Trent there, someone had to kind of bring the edge this season, and it was Juwan, right? Like we saw it last week.
He tried. He tried his best. That's for damn
I feel
sure.
bad, but against the Lions, I mean, he's a great pass blocking wide receiver, right? He's always creating a hole, pushing. And on that first drive last week against Lions, I was at the game, and you see the play happening at the 30-yard line, and then 20 yards downfield, you see Juwan Jennings like 10 seconds after the play's over, just finishing the play, blocking his DB all the way down the field. The guy, I mean, this is how gritty he is. He had an incentive for a 1,000-yard season in his contract. Doesn't care. Goes wild, gets into a fight, gets ejected 25 yards short of his 1,000-yard season. Like I said, his agent probably just swinging a bat in his hotel room, just like breaking everything, pissed. He's got to be like, come on, bro. Like they were force feeding you the ball. Him and Dobbs, that Tennessee connection, trying to get him the ball. Didn't matter. Juwan was going to do Juwan things. Just go after him. I like it though, man. Like I like having that edge. I love having just like a tough, hard-nosed team. They suck this year, but they're not going to get taken advantage of, right? They're going to bite kneecaps, as Dan Campbell wanted to say. You're gonna fight them for it. It's like they're a bar fight team. They're not break dancers like the Dolphins over there.
What'd you think of the ejection, man? I thought that was a soft.
It was soft. Yeah, it was
like
soft.
I get that they're both fighting. Like Juwan, literally back-to-back plays is like trying to rip off the fucking necks of these Arizona Cardinals cornerbacks. But yeah, I thought that was kind of a pussy throw out right there from the refs.
So I wasn't listening. So I was just watching because I had the thing going on. Was it his second personal foul? Was that why he got ejected, or was it just a
well, no,
offender?
they both got ejected. I think it was just like, okay, we need to, like, this game doesn't matter. We need this game to calm the fuck down. It was kind of like a KD and Pat Bev ejection where it's like the refs can't control the game. KD and Pat Bev are just taking the game over with their fight. Like, we just need to throw them out of the game just so this game could go on. I think it was something like that. But Sage, something funny on the call. They brought in Mike Pereira to like ask like, hey, what do you think, Mike? And Mike was like, they shouldn't have gotten ejected for that. But dude, so they were in Arizona apparently night before. I forgot who the main guy was, but was Schlereth. Apparently they were partying out in Tempe last night. Him, Schlereth, Pereira, and the other guy.
Wait. So this is who?
So the two announcers on the game, it was Schlereth, and I forgot the other guy who was the main announcer. But they brought in Mike Pereira to talk about, hey, like, Mike, should they get ejected? And he's like, no. And then they brought up, apparently they were all drinking last night in Tempe, all three of them.
I mean, how could you blame them? If anyone in the chat has ever
could you imagine trying to get prepped for this game? Just like, they were just drinking. They're like, no, this game's about to suck so much.
Yeah, we got
like, we don't care about this game at all. Like, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals against the 6-10 49ers with Josh Dobbs. Like, oh, give me a fucking break.
Chris Myers. So Chris Myers. I mean, yeah. Well, what was the storyline, right? Like you do the Super Bowl headlines going into a Super Bowl, right? Like the Eagles, Chiefs. It's like the Kelsey. What was the storyline about this game? Brock Purdy's homecoming. He's not even playing. The Niners falling apart like a 6.
They were trying to make it like a Josh Dobbs, like trying to get the next starting quarterback job, trying to like get a contract.
He's a free agent this year.
They were trying to do that. They were trying to be like, yeah, I was talking to Josh Dobbs before the game, and he's been seeing guys like Sam Darnold, like Baker Mayfield, and he wants to get that next starter spot, like that's going to open up. It's like, okay, calm down.
There's a reason.
Can you imagine if you're an NFL franchise and like you invest your money, you invest your time into a team, and they're like, you know what? You know who we're going to roll out as our starter next year? Josh Dobbs. I'd be like, oh my God, fucking kill me now.
Try getting your fan base behind that one. I mean, there wasn't much, right? I mean, both fan bases wanted to lose. The announcing crews didn't want to be there. The refs didn't want to be there. The Niners tried to win, which was the funny part. Maybe they tried and then they just fell apart at the end, 21-0. But, I mean, some of the key things from this game, right? I mean, you go in, you want to lose, you want to get out healthy, right? Guerrero leaves, knee and ankle injury.
Mustafa, and he's done. Like, it seems like he tore his ACL.
He was crying. He was crying on the cart, like slapping on his thighs. Like, he looked like he was in serious pain. Another story I haven't told. I actually, that Warriors game I went to 2 weeks ago, I met Guerrero. Super nice guy. Super.
Why have I not been told about this? I am literally your podcast partner, and I've never gotten told this story.
It's funny because
The
so
fuck? Are
funny
you
story.
keeping stories from me, bro?
I was sitting courtside. So I was like, it's kind of sad to say, but sitting like meeting
Minor
Isaac.
flex. Minor flex right there. So I'm sitting courtside.
I'm sitting like literally two seats from the
So I got
Warriors
my feet
bench.
on the hardwood.
Yeah, and it's
Fucking guy.
hard to be humble when you stun on the jumbotron. But no, I'm
Okay.
kidding. So it was one
All
of
right,
those things where
Kanye.
it was like meeting Garendo was like the 10th coolest thing that happened to me that day. Like I met Steph Curry, shook his hand, was talking with Terry Stotts, and then all of a sudden I just look up and I'm like, oh my god, that's Garendo 5 rows behind me. Another slight flex. So I met him, super nice kid. He wasn't getting recognized at all. Just went. So I feel bad for him, but Mustafa hurt. Hufunga got a concussion. Renardo Green hurt his groin. I didn't see what happened with McKivitz, but he got carted off while the team was playing defense. He got carted off the field. That's never good. You never hear anything good happening when someone gets carted off. So
Do you think it's just like a big boy where it's like he
yeah,
can walk,
100%.
but like the dude's like 350 pounds? Like we're not just gonna have that big son of a bitch walk all the way to the locker room, just put him on a cart, get him on his way. It was probably something like that.
Yeah, so it's just no one's. So they're saying maybe a knee, but Colton McKivitz carted off to the locker room after the second interception by Josh Dobbs. So something's going to come out there. Not to be an asshole. It seems like everyone, maybe Garendo, which is unfortunate. You wanted him to be your second back next year, especially if Mason's going to walk, which it seems like they can't sign him back. So that's unfortunate, but it seems like nothing too serious. And I guess they got out a little scat-free. Fred Warner was limping a little. They pulled him out right away.
That was scary. I was literally in the bathroom, and they're like, and now Fred Warner's like slow to get up. I'm like, oh my fucking god, are you kidding me right now?
One. There's like three guys.
If we had a Fred ACL happen in this game, almost done. Like window closed, like blow it up, like fucking, I'm out. If Fred Warner blew his ACL in this game,
you couldn't extend your Super Bowl window that game, but you sure as hell could have closed it, right? With someone getting hurt. So thankfully nothing too bad happened. Just had to point out those guys, hopefully a speedy recovery.
I mean, so Sage, I think this is pretty big. Isaac Garendo, if you told me going into next year, like this is a guy that we were going to rely on.
Yeah,
Jordan, like you said, Jordan Mason's gone. Sage, also, just as a side note, would you rather get deployed to Iraq in the middle of the war or be in the 49ers running back room? I swear to God, you'd almost take the deployment to Iraq. Like everybody who's ever been in this 49ers running back room has gotten a significant injury. It's like crazy. I mean, we have McCaffrey, who everybody in the Bay Area knows what's been going on with McCaffrey. Before the year even starts, what was it? First week of training camp? Elijah Mitchell, breaks his leg or tears his ACL?
Elijah, I don't remember what happened with Mitchell. I can look it up right now, but Mitchell before the season even starts, who Kyle Shanahan loves. Elijah Mitchell hurt.
Before he even gets pads on, breaks his fucking leg. Isaac Garendo got banged up, came back, just to tear his ACL now. And Jordan Mason had a high ankle sprain.
It was a hamstring tear.
Was it a hamstring tear?
That's what it's saying. That's what Google's telling me.
But Garendo is probably going to come in and be the running back 2 next year, Sage.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, it seems like Mason's pretty much good as gone. I mean, was leading the league or second.
He got himself a contract.
He got himself a contract for sure. He's going to go elsewhere. I mean, there's so many teams he fits as like a perfect running back too. You see these systems around the league, right? You're going with a 2 running back set now. So, I mean, he's a perfect complement.
Except Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly. Kyle Shanahan doesn't like to use a 2 running back set. We'll get into grades later. One thing we're going to want to talk about, but yeah, man, like that's kind of like the big fault of the season, right? It's just getting the right personnel on the field. Week 18 should never have to really be an evaluation. You evaluate throughout the season. It sucks that it took this long throughout the season to kind of see what some of these guys got. Like it took until week 17 to be like, oh yeah, maybe Ricky Pearsall, our first round pick, maybe he's actually pretty good. Like maybe we should try and get him the ball. Maybe we shouldn't force feed Deebo Samuel. Hey, the offense without Purdy, without some of our top starting O linemen, we could still score even without Deebo Samuel out there and being the main point of focus. So it's frustrating, but maybe there's some good notes, some good tidbits to take into next year.
I mean, I think we've been ragging on him the entire year, but Cole McKivitz going down. If this guy has a major injury, Sage, what did we say was going to be the number one thing for the 49ers heading into the offseason? You got to get set back up on that O-line, set back up on that D-line. What do you do with McKivitz? Is he back in the middle of the year? Do you because you need to shore up that right tackle position. Obviously, left tackle is always going to be the most important thing when you have a right-handed quarterback like Brock Purdy, but if the 49ers are going to go anywhere, they need to shore up that O-line, and McKivitz going down, just an extra kind of head into this tough offseason for me. That was a tough one too.
100%. I mean, he came on a little bit later. I feel like he wasn't as bad as people wanted to say he was. Obviously, do you want a Tristan Wirfs guarding the right tackle? Of course. There's only one Tristan Wirfs, right? There's only one Lane Johnson. You can't always
Didn't they move Tristan Wirfs over to left tackle?
Maybe they moved him. Yeah, once
maybe I'm
Taylor.
Maybe.
No, I think you're right. Once Taylor retired, maybe they moved him over. But regardless, you can't always have a top tier right tackle, especially when your left tackle is Trent Williams. It doesn't always work out that way. He was fine for what he was. I thought the biggest issue was Brendel. I thought the biggest issue was Aaron Banks. McKivitz was
agreed.
Fine. He did what he needed to do. It's just when you have constant pressure coming in the middle or coming right up the quarterback's face, you have everyone trying to, stay away from Trent Williams. So he's 9 out of 10 times, you're going to get the best matchup. When you play the Cowboys, they're not going to line up Micah on Trent Williams. They're going to line him up on the right tackle. TJ Watt, they're going to line him up on the right tackle. So he's getting the best matchup. He's getting each defense's best pass rusher each week. I thought he was fine. It sucks. We said it. They need to build up the lines this offseason. That's got to be the point of focus. And to just lose one more guy after losing Trent Williams, it hurts, man. It hurts because you saw like Nick Zakelj was getting burned all day against whatever was left of the Arizona Cardinals pass rush. Those guys were getting past them. Dobbs under constant duress. So you need to start there and focus there.
You need to start there, focus there. If you're hopping into this stream a little bit late, the Cardinals beat the 49ers in the last game of the year, 47-24. The Niners finished 6-11 in the season from hell. They locked up the 11th pick today. Like me and Sage were just bringing up a couple seconds ago, the major takeaway was a couple of the injuries that happened in this game. But Sager, we're getting close to 5:15, man. That's kind of what I'm looking at. The Lions are playing the Vikings at 5:15. So we're going to try to wrap up this stream before then. But Sage, before we do that, we're going to do a report card for 2024 when it comes to all the 49ers. Where do you want to start off, man? I know this was something that you've been wanting to do.
Yes, sir.
You've been hard. I feel like you're ready to unleash, man. I feel like you've been waiting to just unleash on guys like Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, really give them your thoughts. So where do you want to start off, my man? There's a lot of ways we could do it.
I think let's go offense to defense, right?
Okay, yeah.
No,
let's start off defense. We want to save the offense for later, right? If we blow out the two biggest people right away, people are going to jump off the stream.
All right, how about we start with the D-line? We'll go front to back.
Okay, are we going to go by player or just a D-line altogether?
No, D-line altogether. We'll group them. We're going to group them.
Okay. You go ahead first. You go ahead first.
I'm going C-. C-, not quite. I feel like you can't be a D-level unit when you have Nick Bosa. Leonard Floyd got 8 sacks, but I think it was a lot of Fugazi, right? You see some of the pressures, you see some of the sacks. You have what is it? Multiple guys you have 3 guys with 5+ sacks, whatever it is. You have Bosa almost getting 10. You had Floyd getting 8.5. If you watch these games, like we say, when we evaluate quarterbacks, how do we know some guys aren't as good as their numbers say? The games are on TV. As a Niners fan, you watch this D-line. There was no pressure. There was games where they would get no pressure. You could scheme around them. Everyone who wanted to could run right up them. The middle was just non-existent really for the second half of the year. People had whatever they want with them. James Conner, Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, name any running back. If you're a running back going against the Niners, that's when you tell your family, like, hey, maybe come watch this game. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this game. Buy your loved ones some tickets and watch them ball against the Niners. So I'm giving them a C-. I can't imagine it goes any higher for you.
No, I'm going D and Sage. This entire report card, like I brought up, I'm going to literally be like an inner city teacher giving out these report cards because it's only going to be D's and it's only going to be F's. Okay.
Okay.
So
how do I reach these kids?
How do I teach these kids? But the D line's a D, man. This run defense was so bad. Like we were just getting gashed. We were like the NFL's town bike for running backs. Like everybody who
100%.
wanted to take a ride, literally like hop on. Like the 49ers are that easy. Like Jahmyr Gibbs running against his defense did not even look like an NFL. It honestly looked like we were in the Big 12. I know that there were injuries with Javon Hargrave. I know your boy Malik Collins. I'm not too sure of him. I didn't think he was that good. They were throwing in guys like Jordan Elliott. You got to shore up the interior D-line. It's a joke. And Javon Hargrave's probably gone, so you got to fill in 2 key spots there. Nick Bosa, a lot of people are going to shit on Nick Bosa. I'm not going to. I think that clearly whenever the other O-lines match up against the 49ers, they're trying to take Nick Bosa away. Everything is schemed to stop Nick Bosa because they know everybody else on the line is not that good. Leonard Floyd, big miss. big miss. We brought up, is John Lynch a little bit overrated? I said no, but fuck, man, this was not a good signing. Leonard Floyd did not do it. You needed to get a solid rusher in there. Say, if we were trying to compete for a Super Bowl and we were going to try to roll out Leonard Floyd in big-time playoff games to get to the quarterback, that just was not going to happen. You got to get somebody else. The defensive line, Nick Sorensen tried to rush forward to get to the quarterback every time with this D-line, and they really could never do it. It was honestly a joke that he never tried to throw in blitzes throughout the year.
The coaching did make it look worse.
They were bad.
To be fair.
It was like they kind of like, without a paddle, just like kind of left this D-line on its own. It's like, okay, like rush forward, get to the quarterback. Like, we suck. Like, we can't. What do you want us to do?
It was like they were so tired of just investing in the D-line year after year. They just said, fuck it this year. Like, we'll look elsewhere. We'll look to improve elsewhere. We'll draft a wide receiver in the first round who will keep on the shelf until week 17.
They're going to have to draft somebody on the D-line first overall.
I think D tackle. I think it's going to be a D tackle. I don't know who it's going to be, but I think you got to go.
So Mason Graham seems like the number one D tackle out of Michigan, but he's a third overall draft prospect. So I don't know if he falls all the way to 11.
But it's the same thing as last year, right? Where you just see all the offensive guys go early now, right? The first offensive player wasn't taken till 11 or 12 last year. So maybe there's hope. Maybe they trade up. Who knows? But we could move to linebackers.
I'm rooting for 5 quarterbacks to be taken, but I'll start with this one, Sage. So you start off with the last one, linebackers. This is hard because I really wish I could split it up, but overall, I mean, you just got to go with all scores combined just to give the mean, right?
Yeah, you got to go with the mean.
It's a C.
Okay.
It's a C. You know why? Fred Warner started out the year, looked like the best defensive player in football.
DPOY.
We all know against the Patriots, fractured his ankle, wasn't the same. I'm not going to blame Fred Warner. Fred Warner, you're getting an A from me. The fact that you played the entire year with a fractured ankle, brought it up, I think, only about a couple weeks ago. I know you're a dog. I know you're going to come back stronger than ever. You're going to be the guy on our defense. I love you, Fred Warner. But Sage, Devondre Campbell, F minus, like as low as you could possibly go. 0.
He played on this team, yes.
Expelled. Literally like F and you're expelled. Just awful the entire year. Missing tackles. Couldn't stop the run. And then with a cherry on top, in the biggest game of the year when the season's on the line, they tap you to go into the game. You're pissed off because Dre Greenlaw's getting that Levi Stadium crowd rocking, coming back, looking like the best player on the field. You're mad because he played over you. The guy who was on the team for 5 years was hand in hand with Fred Warner, the best linebacker duo in the league. You're pissed because they put him in the game. Fuck you. Don't want to. I don't think you're ever going to see him on an NFL team again. And he's an F.
Travels.
D winners, C. I mean, nothing really too impressive. Flanagan fouls. I don't care if you're gone either. Like, he's clearly not that good, Sage. I'm hoping that they re-sign Dre. I think that Trey's going to be healthy for next year. Him and Fred Warner, we know. That's a lethal linebacker duo. But for this year, I'm going to have to give them a C.
I'm going C+. I think we're basically around the same ballpark. I'm just going to say.
Are you prices riding me right now?
No. That half against the Rams where we had Fred and Dre Greenlaw is what gave me the plus because it looked special there for a half.
It looked like 85 Bears there for a little bit. It's like, holy shit, they can't run a fucking inch.
That's where they get the boost. Was it against the Dolphins too? When Dre was in there, they looked so good, but there's hope, right? Unlike the D-line, there's hope. You don't got to draft. You just got to get healthy. So that's why I think it's a C+. Fred was hurt. Obviously, Dre was hurt basically the entire year. Devondre Campbell, him leaving the building just boosted everyone. It's like when you play My Player in 2K and you make a pass and like have a good interview, it's like you get the chemistry up. Your chemistry goes up, getting him out of there. I want to see more of D Winners. I think he was fine as a third guy. And I just think that they underperformed, but I think the talent's there. I think they'll be fine. Just got to get right. C+. I don't think I got to spend too much time saying what I think of Fred Warner and how I think it was mainly injuries. Why?
What would you give him? Individual grade?
B. I mean, as a pro, it was one of his work. I'm grading him on the Fred Warner.
I get it, but you got to take into the fact that he's been playing with a fractured ankle. Like, clearly his play has 100%. Not been that good, but we all know.
I know, but you're out there, you're healthy, and I'm just grading him on the Fred Warner scale.
You're out there, you're healthy. Okay, that's fair. All right, let's move on.
Maybe the only bright spot on the defense this year.
You go ahead, Sage. No. You go ahead.
B-. Okay. Right?
Okay.
Hufanga, when he was there, even though he had 3 separate injuries this year, looked good. Malik Mustafa, I'm not going to say a revelation, but a fine pick, right? Is he Troy Polamalu? Is he Ed Reed? No.
He's close to a revelation, Sage. I mean, did you see the way Amon-Ra was hyping him up on his pod?
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
So I think he's great. I mean, making tackles, plays the run, a little bit of a question mark in coverage still, but him and Renardo, they're just going to get better. These secondary guys, they come in, they're athletic, they're just out there playing. You start to learn, you get better. Look at Diomedor Lenore, right? Took a big step forward this year, but you see he gets better and get better. Hopefully that happens with Mustafa. Hopefully that happens with Renardo Green. Charvarius, a little bit unfortunate of a year for him. Obviously didn't play his best ball.
Tough.
Some things going on. But I thought the secondary was fine. The D line, the linebackers did him no help when you could just run the ball. You got to press a little, play the play action. Teams could get you. So I thought it was fine effort by the secondary this year. I'm going B-, my highest grade so far. What about you?
Sage, I'm gonna pick you back right off you. I think that's perfect. I think it's a B- because, yeah, I mean, Diomedor Lenore got that contract. He's been a dog all year. Everybody's been shouting him out that he was one of the biggest Pro Bowl snubs. So it seems like he locked in as a Pro Bowler. If you would have told me that before the year, I'd be like, oh, this is fucking perfect. We got Demo.
Exactly.
We got Mooney Ward. But the thing is, Mooney Ward's play has clearly dropped this year. We know what happened with his daughter and his family situation. But I think even before that, just with his physical play on the field, I don't think he's going to be a key guy for the 49ers moving forward. I don't think he can be. So you got to lower it a little bit there. When you look at the safeties, I mean, we were rolling out George Odom and Jair Brown for the start of the year. George Odom is a lifetime special teams guy. Jair Brown, I think, proved to you this year that you can't have him in your plans as a starting safety in the NFL if you want to make it deep. He did not impress me all year. I was honestly very disappointed in Jair Brown. Came in last year, middle of the year as a rookie, played well enough. I think he had an interception in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
Coming right out of the second half. So,
yeah.
So I feel like there was a lot of excitement with Jair Brown, and it was probably the worst possible season he could have had. But on the other hand, you had guys like Malik Mustafa come in. Sage, I think he is a revelation. I mean, this guy, the hits that he lays on people, he's like a shooting bullet out there sometimes. I like him in coverage. He's a little bit iffy, but Hufanga, when he came back, I liked what he brought onto the field. I think they're going to sign him as well. I think they signed both him and Dre Greenlaw. So if you're telling me about the entire defense, I think I'm most comfortable with the secondary moving forward. So I got to give them a higher grade than the linebackers, and the D-line still not that great because of a couple players not playing that well. So I'm going to give them a B- overall.
All right, perfect. So we'll move on to the offense. We can start with the O-line.
Oh,
we'll go Snake here. You could go here first.
I'm gonna go C-, Sage.
Yeah, same here. I have C-.
I'm gonna go C- because it's hard to go any lower than C- when you got Trent Williams out there, right? I mean, we could kind of just ignore the Trent factor, but we can't. So Trent is still an elite left tackle. Did he take a little bit of a step down? Yes. Was this due to the fact that he's been coming off 3 straight years with long playoff runs and he held out at the beginning of the year? I think so. We know that he left with that high ankle sprain. But the rest of the line, except for Dominic Pooney, who I think was probably the biggest surprise of the year, Sage. Dominic Pooney is a legit Pro Bowl level guard, and that's something that the 49ers needed. You got to hit on your draft picks. He's a 3rd rounder. Very happy with Dominic Pooney and Trent Williams moving forward. But Sage, Jake Brendel, Cole McKivitz, who's now injured, and Aaron Banks, not only are they not that great in run blocking, which you saw in the fact that this 49ers run zone scheme is not the same as it used to be. They're 10 times worse in pass protection. I mean, Jake Brendel, the way that this guy gets spinned around, Cole McKivitz on the right side when they put a legit pass rush on him, it's ugly. Brock Purdy's been having to run for his life the entire year. That's, other than the D-line, I think this is the next biggest thing that they got to build up. So you got a couple studs, but it's a C- because you got 3 different positions on that line that I want to replace next year. So C-.
Same here. I mean, it's very similar, right, to the D-line, right? Where it's like, how could I give them lower than C- when they have Nick Bosa? How could I give them lower than a C- when they have Trent Williams? Clearly a neglected spot on the team. We said it. We're going to say it. Every Niners fan, every Niners content creator is going to say it. Build the trenches up. Build the trenches up. We like what we see with the receivers. We like what we see with the running backs. Got to build the trenches up. I mean, it was poor this year. You saw what it came down to once you got injured. The backups, turns out they probably shouldn't even be rostered in the NFL. Some of your starters shouldn't be rostered in the NFL. You see a guy like McGlinchey over in Denver having a pretty good year, a decent year.
Mike McGlinchey is not any good. Let's stop that right now. We've
better
seen
than
it. We know what he is.
Is he better than McKivitz?
What are we really comparing there? What is Cole McKivitz? Cole McKivitz ain't any good.
You had him, bro.
But do you want to pay McGlinchey $20 million a year? That's
100%.
That's the catch. Here's the catch.
So you got to invest in it a bit. It seems like they don't want to invest in that O-line. This offseason, it's got to change. Your quarterback, Purdy, his third injury, suffered in his career. I mean, 3 years in the NFL, he's already suffering his third injury. Not too significant, but he's getting dinged. You got to protect him. It starts with the O-line, opens up everything. It'll cure the run game. Obviously, it'll cure the pass game. Protect your quarterback, but C- for the performance this year. I'm just happy that no one got killed behind that O-line.
If Jimmy G was quarterback this year, he looked like
it'd be awful.
He looked like Christopher Reeve right now. He'd literally be I'm just saying, he'd be Christopher Reeve. Like Jimmy G would be paralyzed if he was the quarterback this year. Brock Purdy being mobile is the only thing that saved the season. And this offense, like, did you see that they were ranked 5th overall? They showed the rankings of the offense at the start of the game.
It's bullshit.
49ers are ranked 5th overall. Like, they can still move the ball. I think that's due in part because Brock Purdy moving around in the pocket, being able to extend plays with his legs. Him being able to do that is what helped you get there. But this O-line did not help out anybody, man.
For the really Kirk Cousins crowd, imagine Kirk Cousins behind this O-line. He's dead. He ain't making it to week 4 behind this O-line. Like, thank God Purdy has legs. So I think we got to waste too much breath on the O-line. We'll go with the running backs next.
Okay, so do you want me to go or you?
I can go here.
Yeah, go ahead. Dive in, bro.
Okay, I'm going to go B+. Weirdly. I think it's a B+. I think for what you had, right? You have Christian McCaffrey, who coming off last year, I think 31 out of 32 GMs, maybe 32 out of 32, would say this guy's the best running back in the league. He goes down. So what do? You have to go to your second best guy, Jordan Mason, leading the league in rushing yards. Looks great. Looks like he could be an RB1 in maybe 20 out of the 32 places in the NFL. I think that there's a lot of teams who would trade their starting running back at the beginning of the year for what Jordan Mason was looking like. He looked great. He goes down. You have Garendo as the third string running back. He looked great. Like, there's not many teams who are 3 deep like that. McCaffrey, I'm saying as a third string running back, right? I mean, look at the Lions when they threw Craig Reynolds out there behind that O-line.
Who's that motherfucker they were rolling out? He's like Monty Montgomery. Hold on.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this fucking guy?
And then he gets hurt. And then Patrick Taylor Jr. today is like ripping off some decent runs. So for what was at hand, like if we had McCaffrey, it's obviously a little bit different because you get this type of production from McCaffrey. You're maybe a little disappointed, but for what you had out there, I feel like everyone performed or outperformed what the expectations were. If that's fair to say. I mean, you lose Elijah Mitchell. You get basically 2.5 games out of McCaffrey. McCaffrey in that Buffalo game looked decent. Jordan Mason, when he was healthy, looked like a B to A level running back. So I can't fault the running backs too. And as we just mentioned, they weren't getting much support from this O-line. It's not like they're running behind the Philly O-line here, the Lions O-line. It's a good scheme, but that's about it. So I'm going to give the running backs a B+. I think that it was a serviceable enough unit to if they wanted to win.
Sage, put it up. We got our first day of the day. I'm going A-.
Okay.
I'm going A- for the running backs because when I look at it, like you said, Isaac Garendo did his part. I mean, he's a rookie coming in as a 4th-string running back. He's literally the 4th-string running back coming into this year. So the level of expectations for Garendo is not high. He had a couple big splash plays. He's your boy. I know you love him. So he did impress me. Sucks right now that he probably tore his ACL and he's going to be out all of next year too. But Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, we got to look into that. Sorry,
Christian McCaffrey clearly did not look like himself, but the fact that he was able to try to get in there, tried his hardest to play for the 49ers, try to lead them to a playoff push, I respect that. McCaffrey's a warrior, but this A- is really going to come in for Jordan Mason. I thought Jordan Mason was great all year when he was healthy. Really?
It's an MCL. It's an MCL for Garendo.
Is it confirmed already?
Confirmed. They're running. Oh, that's what the initial fear is. They're saying his ACL is intact, but it's an MCL, and they're running an MRI.
Damn.
But heard it here first. But Jordan Mason was a stud all year, Sage. Like we said, he got himself a contract. He's going to be a starting running back on some team in the NFL next year. Clearly,
running through the tackles is a great, actually skilled
100%.
running back. Like the way that he jumps, cuts, and everything. I was really impressed by him. A lot of people coming into the year said, hey, you got to give Jordan Mason some run. I know that you have Christian McCaffrey, but you got to utilize this guy a little bit. You drafted him. He's showing that he's really good. Like, he's actually a serviceable running back. He proved that in spades. Like you said, I think he was, top 2 in rushing yards in the league before he got injured.
I think behind just Derrick Henry, and then Saquon just jumped everyone.
So just the next man up mentality from this running back room, getting cratered with injuries throughout. I got to give them credit. They were always able to be serviceable. Christian McCaffrey's a dog. He's going to come back stronger than ever. I wish luck to Jordan Mason wherever he goes. Hope Isaac Guerrero has a speedy recovery, but I'm going to give him an A- Sage. I don't know how you could dog the running back room or blame them for anything that happened this year at all.
100%. I think we could speed through this next one. A+. George Kittle, that's all I need. A+. All pro, best tight end in the league this year. Love this guy. His play continues to age like fine wine. When he's out there, he's the best player. I said he's kind of like Klay Thompson, right? With those stacked Warriors teams. When we had talent, right? You had Debo in his prime. You had CMC. He could block. He could kind of form into the offense however you need him to, right? Like Klay, he could defend. He could shoot threes. When you need him to be your leading scorer, he could be your leading scorer. Kittle does it all. He does it all at an elite level. I love George Kittle. I never want to get rid of George Kittle. Best Niner tight end of my lifetime. So A+ for Kittle. Arguably his best season of his career.
We put him over VD.
I am.
And by that, I don't mean venereal disease. I mean Vernon Davis.
Great one, Chase.
No, I'm just.
The thing is, VD came up in the biggest of games, so that's where I got to give him some love.
It always comes up in the biggest of games.
So no. I'm gonna give Kittle an A+. I don't think you'll argue there.
Okay, 76 catches, 1,079 yards, 8 touchdowns. Was he the number 1 receiver in fantasy? I think it was maybe Brock Bowers, but
yeah,
George
Bowers
Kittle,
was one.
Career year. I think this is the year where everybody really started to give George Kittle his flowers.
Yeah.
You saw Kelsey take the downturn, right? So everybody's now saying that George Kittle's the best tight end in football. Not only, Sage, what he does on the field, you know that in the locker room he's a key piece of the positivity going around. George Kittle is never going to dog on anybody in a press conference. He's always going to try to lift everybody
Typing up Jake Moody.
He's a ray of sunlight, man. I mean, George Kittle is just such a breath of fresh air. Sage, he won the media award, so the media said that he was their favorite player to talk to the entire year. I mean, he's the best, man. Like I said, he's rising up the ranks of my all-time favorite 49ers. He's a stud. Pass catching, he's an animal. He blocks better than any tight end in the NFL. You can't say much more about George Kittle. But Sage, I'm gonna go only an A. I'm not gonna go A+ because Eric Saubert.
Get the fuck, dude. Who cares?
No, but like you gotta Eric Saubert. Never in my life has anybody done less to piss me off more than him. I mean, in a couple games where he came in for George Kittle, holding, illegal formations, dropping balls, running routes, slipping, and then it leads to interception. I hope Eric Saubert's nowhere near this team. I'm still going to give them an A. George Kittle deserves an A.
Bring back Ross Dwelly.
No A+ because, hey, it's a tight end room and Eric Saubert's in it, so you can't get an A+. I'm sorry.
All right, Chase. Wide receivers. Want me to go first here or you?
I'm going to go. And Jawan Jennings is the only reason that this isn't in the D's. So I'm going to go with a C-.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a C-. Brandon Ayuk was the entire offseason bitching, moaning, making sure that he got his contract. Well, you got it. And you looked like shit. You looked like shit all year. Obviously, it sucks that he tore his ACL. I wish him a speedy recovery, not only for his livelihood, but we need him. Like the 49ers need him next year.
We don't need this Ayuk. We need last year's Ayuk.
But if we're going to get back to the Super Bowl, we need Brandon Ayuk to be the Brandon Ayuk that he was. But he was not all year. Deebo Samuel, I lost all my love for you. You're clearly not the same guy. You lost a step. But the Jake Moody situation, the Rams game, where I think everything kind of really came to fruition. You're like, okay, Deebo Samuel is just becoming such a major issue. Bitches before the game that he's not getting the ball on Twitter. Drops potentially the game-winning touchdown on that slant route. It's been a tough year for Deebo. Cleats and Convo, maybe the worst content that's been put out the entire year. I mean, whoever is his agent,
it's between that and the Hawk Tua.
Yeah, I'd probably give the nod to Hawk Tua. I swear to God, I'd rather listen to the Hawk Tua podcast listener talk about how she's sucking off dudes than Deebo Samuel with one-word answers talking about how they're getting geared up to go on and take on the Patriots. I swear to God, it's disgusting. His play on the field was disgusting. Like I said, and then Ricky Pearsall, tough because he got shot. He got shot. Sage, how about that celebration today where he acted like he got shot?
Yeah.
And then did the dance? I love what I've been seeing out of Ricky Pearsall, but throughout the entire year, you got to say that it was a little bit disappointing. I do have some faith now from what I've seen over the past 2 games, but if we're doing 2024 season report cards, we got to grade on the entire year. Juwan Jennings is a dog. We signed him to a good deal. Like we said, he is exactly what you want out of a football player on your own team. I love Juwan Jennings. He's the only reason they're at a C-. If it was not for him, probably a D.
So I'm going D+ because the guys making the money were what let you down. I don't think it's possible for Juwan Jennings to carry or improve on how big of a disappointment Ayuk and Deebo were when they're making that much money, when they're supposed to be your guys, they're supposed to be carrying you. As we said, Ayuk, prayers up, speedy recovery, brother. You were terrible when you were on the field. You were terrible. You were clearly the wide receiver 3. And if Ricky Pearsall didn't get shot, you might have been the wide receiver 4 when you were out there because Juwan took that step. Ricky Pearsall, right? When he's getting his minutes, he's getting his time as they're giving him the ball. He looks great. He looked good week 18. He looked good week 17. They just got to feature him more in the offense. Giving him his shine. Let Ricky Pearsall eat. He was your first round pick. Like you said, though, he was your first round pick. You had needs all along the offense, all along the defense that weren't receiver. You needed a D-line. You needed an O-line. You spend your first round pick on a receiver and then pay Brandon Ayuk. So to be fair, Ricky Pearsall, I loved what I saw these last 2 weeks. It was kind of a disappointment for a first round pick. Ayuk was a huge disappointment. Deebo, probably the quickest fall off I've ever seen. He looked fine last year. He had a great year last year. This year, it's not like he was hurt. He said he wasn't getting the ball. Bullshit. He just wasn't himself. Clearly changing his number, deleted all his aura, deleted all his skill. And Juwan Jennings was the one bright spot, but he was injured. He didn't play the whole year. When he was out there, he was fine. When he wasn't getting ejected, he was a dog, blocking defenders into the cameras, finishing every play. Dog. So it's got to be a D+ for me because it was kind of disappointing, to say the least.
You're a tough grader, man. Jesus. Fuck.
No need to evaluate the quarterbacks. We could just do the quarterback with Brock Purdy.
We don't want to do the quarterback rule. We don't want to bring in Josh Dobbs and Brandon Allen take.
No.
Okay, but I'll go ahead.
To be fair, I think they'd weigh him up. I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, please stop that shit.
Oh, wait, we forgot to do
stop
fullback.
that shit right now, Sage. If we're gonna be doing this in 2025, you gotta stop that shit right now. Don't you dare.
We forgot to do fullbacks.
Oh Jesus.
No,
okay. Let's
go
not
C.
do that.
C.
But so for Brock Purdy, Sage, I'm gonna go with the C. I'm gonna go right down the middle. 3,900 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks. Also did have 5 rushing touchdowns, 300 rushing yards. Clearly,
those aren't tush pushes.
But this was a tough year for Brock. But in all honesty, when we look at Brock Purdy's performance, everything was falling to pieces around him, Sage. Kyle Shanahan did not have a good year calling plays. The offensive line was a complete mess. He was running for his life the entire time. Brandon Ayuk goes down. Deebo Samuel misses some time. Christian McCaffrey's out most of the year. Trent Williams is out for the last 5 games of the year. Just the entire offense went downhill. I still thought that Brock played pretty solid. At the start of the year, Sage, I was saying that was the best football that Brock Purdy's been playing his entire career, but it started to tail off at the end of the year. We saw at the end of these games the past couple of weeks that he's been having that big interception that's kind of lost in the game. So even though I've seen bright spots from Brock, I still think that he's going to be the quarterback of the future for the 49ers. You want to see some of that stuff change at the end of the game situations. The bad weather is a concern, and I honestly don't think it's ever going to go away. So it's weird because I almost don't hold it against Brock, which I completely should. So it's weird. It's hard to assess Brock because of everything that happened around him. Clearly, what we saw last year when everything was going well, he played great. Not so much this year. So I'm just going to have to go ahead and give him a C, Sage.
I'm right below you. I got a C-. It's kind of like we said. The team was terrible. The team around him was falling apart. The bad weather thing was a major concern. There was a lot of opportunity this year with it. We saw him throw in the heat. It wasn't good. We saw him throw in the rain. It wasn't good. We saw.
Is this heat game going to be something that we always bring up? Maybe he missed a couple.
You know why?
Throws.
Because it's just odd that you can't throw in the heat. I just think it's strange.
It was just a couple throws in one game, though.
You just said that, who was it? Trey Lance had the worst throw you've ever seen. I can talk in hyperbole too here, right? Like I can say that it's a concern.
Look at that. All right, chat, bring up that Trey Lance throw. Send us a video. It was fucking terrible.
But yeah, like you said, he didn't have much to work with, but we saw it last year. He looked so good last year. He was an MVP finalist last year. Damn near should have won it. If he doesn't have that debacle on Christmas, probably could have won the MVP, went to the Super Bowl. It wasn't good this year. Say what you want, it wasn't good. The late game stuff wasn't good. With a lead, it's not good in the fourth quarter. Trailing in the fourth quarter, it's not good. He's got to be better there. We said it. Juwan Jennings, fine receiver. George Kittle, probably the best tight end in the league. Ricky Pearsall was fine. He still had Deebo Samuel. The receivers around him weren't awful. He's not Drake May out there throwing to Boutte and Kendrick Bourne. Like, he had a fine enough receiving core, and we gave the running back room an A. So it's not like it was total shit. The O-line obviously could have been better, but what I saw from his legs was impressive. Some of the passing stuff was a bit concerning compared to last year. I thought he wasn't getting it out quick enough. Maybe, just a slump, people figuring him out. We'll see how he adjusts, but I got to go C- because I had high expectations for Brock.
That's fair. I'll give you that, Sage. C- is fair for Brock this year.
All right. This one's interesting. I'm very curious to see where you go here. Last one, Kyle Shanahan. Should I go first?
I'll go really quickly, Sage, because I know you're going to unleash. Sage, this is going to be like a grade coming from a teacher who loves you, thinks the best of you. So he's going to be harsh on you when he deserved it.
Okay.
F.
I like this.
F for Kyle Shanahan. He had a very bad year calling play, Sage. But you know what pisses me off more than anything? The Nick Sorensen hire.
Exactly.
When you're in the middle of a Super Bowl window and you hire a guy like Nick Sorensen who has no experience, clearly, Sage, people are going to be arguing on KNBR that it wasn't his fault. He needs to keep his job. Give him another year. Sage, I thought this guy was a joke all year. Couldn't make an adjustment at all. The fact that you put him in as defensive coordinator in the middle of this window is an abomination. Like I said, the play calling all year was very bad. There were some rumblings in the locker room, like with Deebo Samuel, not cutting Jake Moody as well. I think that's an issue. I feel like they should have gotten off of him a little bit early, but I think the worst thing, Sage, is the stuff that I'm seeing in late game scenarios, blowing leads. You don't see the great coaches do that. I gave you a little bit of shit for hyping up Sean McVay, but you don't see that with Sean McVay teams. You don't see that with Andy Reid teams. We've come to see that Kyle has a lot of issues in these late game scenarios. It usually comes up in the biggest moments, in Super Bowls, NFC Championship games. This happened in 3 division games that basically put you at such a hard place in the middle of the year to try and make a playoff push. That, combined with the decision to hire Nick Sorensen. Also, I'm going to give him credit as the GM for signings like Devondre Campbell, Leonard Floyd. We give him credit for drafting guys when they work out. I'm going to give him credit for drafting and signing guys when it doesn't work out as well. It's an F for Kyle Shanahan. He's one of the best coaches in the year, and this was a fucking terrible year for him. F.
I had D-. I thought the personnel was an issue. The whole way he botched the running back situation, the way he botched the CMC return. As soon as he comes back off Achilles tendon, what?
Botched it?
He botched it.
Okay.
I mean, just as soon as he comes back, you have a guy like Jordan Mason. We were calling for a chase. Get Garendo involved in the pass game. I'm going to lose my breath saying this. Give Mason 5 to 6 carries a game.
Yeah.
But as soon as McCaffrey comes back, he's the workhorse again. Like he's 2023 McCaffrey, just feeding him, making the offense around him. When he's not there, you're making Deebo the man against the Rams in a have-to-have-it game. Your season's still alive. You make Deebo the focal point after he complains on Twitter, and you give in to him. The locker room, I mean, it was weird, right? You have Deebo fighting Jake Moody. You have Devondre Campbell quitting on the team. You never see that in the past with Kyle Shanahan teams. The play calling, the way he adapted the run game, it wasn't good. The personnel that he was putting on the field. Ricky Pearsall in the first round, probably a Shanahan lean. He probably wanted him, and you don't use him until like week 17. Your first round pick, don't use him until week 17. And then the coaches he hired, Nick Sorensen, not firing Brian Schneider. It was just a mess. I think it's a good learning point for Shanahan. I don't need to harp into it too much. We hop into it every week. We need to go watch this Lions-Vikings game, but D- for Kyle Shanahan for me. I just thought it wasn't his best year. But I expect him to rebound. I don't want him fired. I just think this is something you learn from, like you do with all your best students. You're harsh on them when you're grading, and you know they're going to come back with the fire.
Sage, tell me I'm wrong. I don't know if you've ever gotten this. I've gotten both grades before in my life as a student. I feel like the D- hits a little bit harder than the F. Tell me I'm wrong.
It might. Yeah, F is just
Because
like
the
you
F is
completely
just
fucked
like
up.
maybe like you fucking didn't answer like half the questions. Like it's just an F. But when it's a D-, it's like you tried and you still suck cock. You're not an F, but like you're right at the bottom. I don't know. For me, so I feel like that cut a little bit deeper that you gave Shanahan a D- compared to an F.
I hope it did. I know he watches this show. He's a subscriber. We saw him subscribe last week. So
we're going out to dinner with him later tonight. So when he comes back from Arizona, we'll talk. But we're guys in the meeting now, Sage. We have friendships with these guys, but we can't let it influence our takes.
100%. We got to be unbiased and honest. They call me the mayor of fair for a reason.
We're as real as the streets, baby. Come on now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's 5:27. I mean, Sage, do we got the playoff matchups pretty much locked up, at least in the AFC? So we're going to have...
The AFC is locked up.
So we're going to have the Broncos taking on the Bills. We're going to have, I believe, the Chargers going to be taking on the Texans, right?
Yes, that's the 5-4 because Pittsburgh dropped to the 6, and they're going to get the Ravens.
Oof. You got to say Ravens-Steelers. That's going to be the Sunday night game, right?
So
that's the premier matchup.
You want to try and... We could try and predict it. I cheated a little. They already have some of the games already out there that I saw. So I'll let you try and guess it.
Okay. So first off, Houston Chargers is the easiest Saturday morning game of my life. That's clearly the first game on Saturday.
They call it the Shakey's game, right?
The Shakey's game. But Houston versus LA, that's going to be Saturday morning. And so then it's a Saturday night game, correct?
Saturday night.
Okay, so the Saturday night game, let's think about it on the NFC as well. Let's kind of announce what's going on there. So you have Eagles-Packers.
Yeah, Eagles-Packers, Rams versus whoever loses tonight. I think that's going to be the Saturday night game. And then you have Tampa-Washington.
Tampa-Washington. So, okay, clearly Tampa-Washington's going to be the Monday Night Football game.
That's going to be the Monday night game, 100%.
They don't give a shit about either team. They're going to give them one less day of rest. And... two not that big markets. I know it's Washington, D.C., but no one really cares about Washington football. That's the Monday night game. Sage, I'm going to say that, you know what? I'm going to actually say Eagles-Packers, that's going to be the Sunday night game. I think that's the premier game. You've got a big-time, iconic American logo in the Green Bay Packers. You got the Philadelphia Eagles, who are in one of the biggest markets. I think that's going to be the Sunday night game. I'm going to say Rams. So we have Rams versus, I'm going to say the Rams game. Or I don't know. What are some of your thoughts there? I've been kind of rambling a little bit. Yeah.
So you have 2 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday, and then 1 game Monday. So I think that Cardinals, or I think that Packers Eagles is prime for that Sunday afternoon 1:25 game with Brady, and I think that's there. I think Saturday night will be Minnesota, LA. Sunday night will be Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Sunday morning, I think Sunday morning's 100% Denver, Buffalo. I think the 2 morning games are set. The Saturday morning game is LA, Houston. Sunday morning's Denver, Buffalo. Monday night will be Washington, Tampa. It seems like Tampa always somehow gets that Monday night game. And then I'm going to go Philly, Green Bay for that 1 o'clock. And then Sunday night, I'm going to go Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Saturday night, I'll go Minnesota, LA.
I feel like you got it, Sage. I mean, I thought when I saw Eagles-Packers, I thought that's clearly the primetime matchup, but that does sound like the Fox 1:30 game, right?
Yeah, that feels like the Fox 1:30
Are
game.
we sure that it's going to be Fox who has that 1:30 slate on Sunday?
I could actually check that right now.
So check that really quick because that definitely has an influence on what happens, but it would be hard to not have Steelers-Ravens be the Sunday primetime game, right?
Yeah.
AFC North. You got to think about this too. NFL has been hyping up the NFC North the entire year. They've had them in the Hard Knocks, right? I mean, the in-season Hard Knocks is the AFC North. Yesterday, they gave them both extra day of rest, got them in the primetime slate playing on Saturday. So it makes sense that the NFL would get them as that Sunday night game.
Yeah, that does make sense. Lions just punted. It's not saying here who has it. Interesting. Let me check. Maybe it'll be online somewhere.
Okay, but just to confirm our prediction, so for the Saturday morning game, we have Houston versus the Chargers. And then for that Saturday night game, we're going to say whoever the Rams, so it's going to be the Rams versus either the Lions or the Vikings.
Vikings, yep.
And then the Sunday morning game is going to be
Buffalo, Denver, 100%.
Buffalo, Denver. I like that. Buffalo's probably just going to kick their ass. They're going to put that in the morning slate. And then in that
Sunday,
1:30 slate,
125.
we're going to say that it's going to be Packers-Eagles. The
Yes,
Sunday
sir.
night game is going to be that classic AFC North matchup, Steelers-Ravens. And then Monday is going to be Tampa Bay versus Washington.
I think the only thing
I
that
think
might
those are great guesses. Those are great guesses.
What scares me is, do they want Russ on primetime? Like, do they want Russ on Sunday night? But I think Lamar on Sunday night makes sense. So, and it's Steelers Ravens. So that's
also
the only one that scares me.
Something I've been hearing as well. So Saturday night, that's going to be the Amazon game, right?
Saturday night's the Amazon game, right? That just feels
Saturday
like
night's the Amazon game. They're located out in LA. I think they've had the Rams on Thursday Night Football like 4 times. There's a lot of reports that Saturday night game was going to be the Rams versus whoever they play. So I think that one's honestly kind of a lock.
Okay. So I think we have this locked in, Chase. I think we go 6 for 6 here.
I think so. I feel good about it. But Sage, we got a game to watch, man. We got a game to watch.
Sure.
This is the biggest
game
of
the
the year.
If you're in the stream, please like. It helps boost to the audience once the stream's over. Subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yeah, if you've been listening to us all year, especially if you're a 49ers fan, we're still going to come out with some Niners content. We're going to be talking about the offseason. Obviously, it's going to tamper down a little bit. I mean, we don't have games to talk about, games to preview, but we're still going to come at you. The 49ers coming back in 2025. We still think that there's hope, so we're going to tell you how we think they're going to get back. We're going to be coming out. We don't know the schedule yet, but we're still going to be putting out content. We're definitely going to lean into some more Warriors talk, Sage, right? We're going to definitely start bringing up the Dubs, what the hell they have to do to try to get back into that championship window. But, Sage, we're going to be all over NFL playoffs. I feel like that's going to be a majority of the next month for us, right?
100%. Diving into the matchups, what we think, and then everything that comes along with it.
We're not these 49ers content creators who only talk 49ers and don't know a fucking thing about the rest of the NFL. We're all over the NFL, so it's almost going to be like we're talking Niners when we're talking about the rest of the teams. It's going to flow, Sage. We're probably – when do we bring the boy Max on? I know he's probably in the stream right now.
We'll preview the wild card with him on Thursday.
No, I don't think – I think we should save him.
I think we should use him once.
No. But I think that we should bring Max back on. They're going to play Baltimore. Like, that's how it's going to set up, I think. It's going to be Bills, Ravens. I've been texting Max on the side. Just to give everybody context here, our buddy Max, big-time Buffalo Bills fan, loves Josh Allen almost to a point where it's a little bit scary. He's having an aneurysm trying to fight people off with these Lamar Jackson MVP takes, so it's going to be fun to see Josh Allen, the Bills, go up against Lamar Jackson, preview that with Max. So I think that's what we should do, Sage. Let's save Max for about a week from now.
Okay, I'm down for it.
But all right, Sage, anything else for the people before we head out?
Like, subscribe, you know where to find us.
Like, subscribe, you know how to find us. We're going to be coming back. I don't know when, but a little bit later in the week. We're probably going to try to talk a little more around the NFL. And definitely we're going to dive into whatever the hell happens in this Lions-Vikings game. So we'll put that out on Twitter. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter for any updates that are going to be coming from Westbound and Down. But that's going to be it for the stream today. The season from hell is over. The Wicked Witch is dead. We're going to talk to you guys later.